bikers mocked a starving boy selling his bike. And that one mistake turned their laughter into screams. They thought it was just another poor kid desperate for a few coins, a joke to be filmed, posted, and forgotten. But what they didn't know was that the boy's pain had already caught someone's eye. Someone who found beauty in broken souls and poetry in revenge. That night, the city would remember one lesson. When laughter is cruel, even the quietest tear can summon a storm. Because in the dark corner of Gotham, the Joker was listening. If you believe every monster was once made by the world that broke them, hit that subscribe button now. Because what you're about to witness isn't a story about madness, it's about justice, the Joker's way. The night was quiet, too quiet for a city that never sleeps. Rain tapped against the cracked pavement, washing away the dirt, but not the cruelty. A boy stood at the edge of a narrow alley, his clothes soaked, his hands trembling around the handle of an old, faded bike. It wasn't worth much. Rusted, missing a pedal, but to him, it was everything. His father's last gift before disappearing into the city's cruel rhythm. He placed a cardboard sign beside it. For sale, $100. His stomach growled louder than the thunder. He hadn't eaten in 2 days, yet even in hunger there was dignity in his eyes, the kind that only the broken know how to wear. Then came the sound, engines growling like wild dogs. 3 bikers roared down the street, their laughter slicing through the rain. Black jackets, tinted helmets, full of arrogance and gasoline. "Hey, look at this!" one of them shouted, skidding to a stop. "The kid's selling his toy bike!" The others joined in, circling him like vultures. One snatched the sign, another grabbed the handlebars and spun the bike around, mocking his desperation. $100? The leader laughed. "You should be paying us to take this junk." They shoved the boy aside, his knees scraping the wet ground. His lips quivered, but he said nothing. Not a word. Only his eyes spoke. Quiet, wounded, waiting. And from across the street, under a broken neon sign, someone else was watching. A man with green-tinted hair, a purple coat, and a smirk that never quite reached his eyes. The Joker leaned against the wall, flicking a lighter open and closed, watching the scene unfold like theater. He loved theater, especially the tragic kind. The bikers kicked the boy's bike into the gutter and drove off, laughing, leaving the boy on his knees in the rain. He didn't cry. He just stared at the wrecked bike. And that silence, that stillness, made something inside the Joker move. Later that night, the boy sat under a bridge, clutching a half-eaten sandwich he'd found in a dumpster. Then, a shadow fell over him. "Mind if I sit?" the voice asked, smooth, curious, almost playful. The boy looked up, startled. A man with smeared makeup and a crooked smile stood there, holding 2 steaming cups of coffee. "I don't talk to strangers," the boy muttered. "Good," Joker said, handing him a cup anyway. "That means you're smarter than most people I know." They sat in silence for a while. The rain softened. Somewhere in the distance, sirens wailed. "You sold your bike?" Joker asked softly. The boy hesitated. "They broke it, said it was junk." "Ah," Joker sighed, sipping his coffee. "People love to break what they can't understand. Dignity, hope, even bikes." He tilted his head, studying the boy's face. "Tell me, kid, if you could do anything to those men, what would you do?" The boy's eyes lifted, uncertain. "I'd make them feel what I felt." The Joker grinned, slow and sinister. "Now that's a beautiful thought." Over the next few days, the city began whispering. The same bikers who mocked the boy were found. Their bikes burned, tires melted into the asphalt. One was found tied upside down beneath a bridge, another inside a wrecked car, and the last. No one spoke about the last. The police called it gang retaliation. The media said it was vengeance. But deep down, everyone knew this wasn't a gang's work. It was art. A message written in fire and fear. 2 nights later, the boy woke up in an abandoned warehouse. He didn't remember how he got there. The dim light flickered across walls painted with words. Laugh at pain. Break the joke. Be the punchline. And there, sitting at a table surrounded by blueprints, was the Joker. "Rise and shine, partner," he said cheerfully, clapping his hands. "We've got work to do." The boy's voice trembled. "Why are you helping me?" Joker leaned closer, his tone shifting. Soft, dangerous, honest. "Because no one helped me when I was you." The boy stared, unsure whether to fear or trust him. But behind that painted smile, there was something real, a sadness the world had forgotten to name. Joker stood up, buttoning his purple coat. "You wanted them to feel your pain," he said. "Now they do. But remember this, pain is only the beginning. The real fun starts when the world laughs, and you make them choke on it." He tossed the boy a small silver coin with a Joker face etched on it. "Keep it. When you're ready, flip it, and I'll be there." The boy looked down at the coin, then up again, but the Joker was gone. Only laughter echoed through the empty warehouse, fading into the rain. Days passed, but Gotham never slept. The city forgot quickly. Headlines faded, sirens moved on, and people laughed again. But somewhere in its shadowed veins, something was brewing. Something cold. The boy, his name was Eli, hadn't flipped the coin. Not yet. He carried it like a secret heartbeat, cold against his palm. Every night, he'd stare at it, remembering the Joker's words. "When you're ready, flip it." Ready for what? Revenge was done, wasn't it? The bikers were gone. Justice, if that word even meant anything anymore, had been served. But still, he couldn't sleep. He saw their faces, their laughter, the humiliation. And beneath all of that, something else gnawed at him. Guilt. Then one night, while sleeping in an abandoned bus stop, Eli heard footsteps. A tall man in a gray coat stopped in front of him, flashing a badge. "Eli Carter?" He froze. "I'm Detective Merrow. We need to talk." The detective's voice was calm, but his eyes told a story of sleepless nights. "You were seen near the bridge the night those bikers were found. Witnesses say someone matching your description was talking to a man with white makeup." Eli's heart pounded. "You think I did it?" Merrow crouched, lowering his tone. "I don't think you did. But whoever that man is, he's dangerous. And if he's got his eyes on you, you're not a witness anymore. You're bait." The detective left a card on the bench. "Call me before he calls you." But Eli knew better. He didn't need to call, because he was already watching. That night, the laughter came again, not from the streets, but from the shadows. It echoed through the cracked windows of an abandoned theater near the old district. Eli followed it, like a moth drawn to a flame. Inside, the Joker sat in the middle row, clapping slowly, as if applauding an invisible performance. "Eli," he beamed, "I was starting to think you'd forgotten about me. Tell me, how's the world treating you now that it's stopped laughing?" Eli didn't smile. "You said it'd stop hurting. It hasn't." Joker turned, his smile fading for a moment, just a moment. "Oh, pain never stops, kid. You just learn to dance with it." He walked to the stage, picking up a stack of newspapers. "You see this?" he said, waving them. "The city's got a new villain now, the biker butcher. They're terrified. The cops, the rich, everyone. All because of one night, one spark of defiance. You made them look in the mirror." Eli shook his head. "I didn't want this." "Didn't you?" Joker's voice turned razor sharp. "When they laughed at you, did you want mercy? Number. You wanted meaning. You wanted the world to feel something. That's what I do, Eli. I make them feel." He tossed the papers aside, his voice lowering. "But here's the thing about meaning. It's never free. So, are you ready to pay for it? Eli hesitated. The rain outside started again, tapping against the roof like a ticking clock. Joker smiled softly, almost kindly. "You're not my puppet, Eli. You're my reflection, but every reflection must choose. Do you shatter or do you shine?" For a long time, neither spoke. Then Eli reached into his pocket, pulling out the coin. He looked at it one last time, the grinning face of madness staring back at him. Then he flipped it. The coin landed on the floor with a metallic clink. And just like that, the lights in the theater went out. When they flickered back on, the Joker was gone. In his place stood a duffel bag at Eli's feet. Inside, a clown mask, a phone, and a note. "Every revolution starts with a joke. Yours starts tonight." Eli didn't understand, not yet, but when the phone buzzed, the screen showed a live stream, a fancy charity gala uptown with rich men laughing, glasses clinking, money changing hands. Then a voice came through the speaker. Joker's voice. "Do you know what's funny, Eli? The same people who threw you away are celebrating another charity tonight. They call it helping the poor, but they're really just paying to feel better about stepping on you. Let's give them a real reason to be scared." The plan wasn't murder. Not this time. Joker didn't believe in easy endings. No, this was theater. Chaos, wrapped in message. Minutes later, the gala lights flickered. The screens around the room went dark, replaced by a video feed. Eli's face appeared. The same boy they once ignored. His eyes hollow, his tone calm. "You mocked the hungry, sold pain for entertainment, called it fun. Tonight, the joke's on you." The crowd froze. Panic rippled through the room, and as the camera panned, behind Eli stood a figure, grinning, his face painted white, holding a detonator. Joker whispered into the mic, "Smile, everyone. This one's for the cameras." The feed cut to black. Sirens wailed across Gotham that night. The news anchors spoke of terror, of hackers, of a mysterious broadcast hijack that left the city shaken. No one was harmed, but every name on that guest list found their bank accounts emptied, their secrets exposed, their reputations shattered overnight. And in the chaos, a message appeared on the city's billboards, a single line glowing red. "Laughter dies when guilt begins." Eli stood on the same bridge where it all started, the coin in his hand again. He flipped it once more, watching it glint in the moonlight. This time, he didn't wait for Joker to appear, because somewhere deep down, he already was. Gotham was no longer laughing. The city that once mocked pain now whispered in fear. Every digital billboard, every neon sign seemed haunted by that red message. Laughter dies when guilt begins. The police called it cyber terrorism. The media called it madness. But for Eli, it felt like justice. A quiet, poetic justice that didn't need blood to scream. Yet deep inside, something was shifting. He had become what he feared, a ghost of his own anger. For days he wandered the outskirts of the city, coin in hand, Joker's laughter echoing somewhere between his thoughts. He wanted peace. He wanted silence. But chaos. Chaos had already learned his name. One evening, as he sat near the river watching the city lights blur across the water, a black car stopped behind him. The door opened, and Detective Marrow stepped out. "You've been busy," Marrow said, lighting a cigarette. "You and your friend." Eli didn't turn around. "He's not my friend." Marrow took a long drag, the smoke curling into the night. "You think he helped you?" "No, kid. He used you. Every time someone like him finds a broken soul, he molds it, sharpens it, then tosses it away once the world starts bleeding." Eli's fingers tightened around the coin. "You don't understand." Marrow exhaled slowly. "Oh, I understand. I was like you once, lost something I couldn't replace. But the Joker, he doesn't give you closure, kid. He gives you chaos, dressed like justice." The detective stepped closer. "You want to stop him?" Then start by ending whatever's left of him in you. Eli finally looked up, and in that moment, something flickered in his eyes. Confusion, anger, maybe even fear. That night, as the rain returned, it always returned, Eli found himself drawn back to the warehouse, the one where it all began. The graffiti still glowed faintly in the dark. Laugh at pain. Break the joke. Be the punchline. He walked deeper inside. The air smelled of gasoline and ash, and then he heard it, clapping. Slow, deliberate, echoing through the emptiness. "Detective Merrow," Joker's voice rang out, mocking. "You always show up to the final act too early." Eli turned. Merrow stood behind him, gun drawn, but Joker was already there, standing on a catwalk above, bathed in flickering light, grinning down like a phantom playwright watching his actors. "You think you're saving him?" Joker said, voice dripping with sarcasm. "Oh, detective, you never learn. The world doesn't save broken things, it displays them." Merrow aimed up. "It ends tonight." Joker tilted his head, amused. "Oh, it always does." Suddenly, a screen flickered to life behind him. Live footage from across the city. Crowds gathering, chaos unfolding, anonymous messages flooding every billboard again. Eli's own face flashed across them, words appearing beneath. "The boy who made Gotham feel." Joker spread his arms. "See? You're famous, kid. They'll remember you longer than they ever remembered your father. Isn't that what you wanted?" Eli's voice cracked. "No, I just wanted them to stop laughing." Joker stepped closer, lowering his tone, his painted smile fading into something disturbingly real. "They'll never stop, Eli. The world needs something to laugh at, and when it can't find one," he pressed a hand against his chest, "it creates one, like me." He leaned in, whispering, "And now, like you." Merrow shouted, "Don't listen to him!" But Eli's head was spinning. His memories, the bikers, the humiliation, the fire, the fame. It all blurred into a single question he couldn't escape. Had he become the monster he hated? Joker turned his back, laughing quietly. "You can shoot me, detective. You can arrest him. But it won't change the punchline. This city doesn't need heroes anymore. It needs reminders." Suddenly, Eli raised the coin. "You told me to flip it when I was ready." Joker's laughter stopped. Eli stepped forward. "What happens if I flip it again?" For the first time, Joker didn't have an answer. His grin faltered. Eli flipped the coin. It spun through the air, glinting under the broken light, then landed on the ground, rolling to a stop, on its edge. Silence. Even Joker stared, mesmerized. "Well, isn't that poetic?" he whispered. Eli walked past him, voice steady. "No more jokes." Merrow lowered his gun, uncertain. "Kid." Before he could finish, the warehouse lights exploded. Fire alarms blared. Joker's laughter erupted again, wild, chaotic, echoing into the night. When the smoke cleared, the catwalk was empty. Joker was gone. Only the coin remained, still standing perfectly upright on the floor. Impossible, mocking gravity itself. Eli and Merrow stepped outside as dawn began to break. Sirens wailed in the distance. Merrow looked at the boy. He's still out there. Eli glanced at the city skyline, his reflection trembling in the rain. "Maybe," he said softly. "Or maybe he's right here." Merrow frowned. "What do you mean?" Eli smiled faintly. Not like the Joker, but not entirely unlike him either. "Every laugh leaves a scar. Some just learn to hide it better." He dropped the coin into the river. It sank slowly, ripples spreading across the dark water. Endless, quiet, haunting. And as the first light hit Gotham's skyline, faint, distant laughter drifted through the wind, not from the Joker, but from the city itself. Because sometimes the joke never ends. It just changes faces.
If you felt the chill of Joker's justice and want more dark, emotional stories like this, hit that subscribe button now.
Because in this channel, every story smiles back.